Hi all, so welcome back to my channel, The Android Concepts. Hope all are doing good. So if you're new to my channel, so myself Munindra, so I'm a blogger who'll be sharing the information on Android concepts. As most of the people requested me to make a video on the questions on 8051, so that's the reason I have ended up to make this video for the examination purpose. So 807 is a vast topic. So instead of making the whole content into one video, rather than I would like to split into different contents like part 1, part 2 and part 3. So each part will be consisting of 50 questions on MC like 807 microcontroller. Like 50 questions or 50 bits, not about MCQs. So which will be helping you in the examination point of view. So this video is all about part number 1, and those who are preparing for the vectoring examination, in the examination point of view, you'll be having an option to choose either 8086 microprocessor or 8051 microcontroller. So I'm familiar with 8051, so that's the reason I have made a video on this. So hope this video will be helping you a lot and will be giving you more information and will be able to make you score good marks in the examination. So what are you waiting for? So get started. So as discussed, this video is all about bits on 8051 part number 1. So try to make concentrated on each and every bit properly so that you won't make any mistake in the exam point of view. So let's get started. Topic number 1, introduction. So here you will be getting all the information on introduction of 8051. Bit number 1, 8051 is a dash microcontroller. So the answer will be 8-bit. Bit number 2, 8051 has dash bytes of RAM, dash bytes of on-chip ROM, dash timers, dash ports, dash pins, and dash serial port. Basically, 8051 has 128 bytes of RAM, 4K bytes of on-chip ROM. It's nothing but on the chip itself will be having ROM, so which will be of 4K bytes, and 2 timers and 4 ports which will be of 8 bits wide. What does it mean is there will be 4 ports and each port will be having 8 pins and 32 input output pins. Basically 8051 is a 40-bit, so like a 40 pin 8-bit microcontroller. Out of this 40 pins, 32 pins will be used as both input and output and one serial port. Bit number 3, what is the maximum value that can be possible for 8051 on-chip ROM? Basically we are having only 4K bytes of on-chip ROM, but if we want to extend it, well, we can extend up to 64K bytes. Bit number 4, total number of pins in 8051 microcontroller. The answer will be 40. As I told you earlier, 8051 is a 40 pin 8-bit microcontroller. So 40 pins and 8-bit. So try to make a note of it. Bit number 5, name the earliest version of microcontroller that don't have on-chip EPROM. So the answer will be 8031. Bit number 6, what is the first version of 8-bit microcontroller with on-chip EPROM? So the answer will be 8751. Bit number 7, size of registers in 8051. Basically most of the registers in 8051 are 8-bit, and there are some of the registers which will be of 16-bit. But for now, let me give you small information on this. Accumulator, A register, so which will be of 8-bit. So the main use of this register is used to store the operands and acting as an operand register, which means that this register will be used to store the values when we want to make any subtraction or addition. So we can store the operands in this particular register. Register number 2, B register. So it is also 8-bit register and which will be used to store the operands of multiply and divide instructions. So this is also important bit. They will ask you dash bit is used to store the operands for multiply and divide instructions. So the answer will be register. Next one, program status word. So it is also an 8-bit register, so which is consisting of set of flags, so which will be storing the information of the status of instructions like carry flag, overflow flag, parity flag, and all the stuff. Next one, stack pointer. So stack pointer is an 8-bit register, so which is used to store the data or the address when we are storing in the stack. So if you want to store any data onto the stack, it is called as push operation, and when you want to remove any information from the stack, it is called pop operation. So both push and pop are instructions which will be working on the stack only. Next one, data pointer. So data pointer is 16-bit register, so which is also used as an two 8-bit registers, like we can access with the help of DPH and DPL, where DPH is used for higher byte and DPL is used for lower byte. So here at the end of each register you'll be seeing something called SFR. So SFR is nothing but special function registers. So 8051 microcontroller is having something called special function registers, which are 21-bit addressable and 8-bit registers. So for more information, I'll be giving you the information of FRs in further slides. So for instance, some of the SFR registers are A register, B register, stack pointer. So these are some of the registers for SFRs. So try to make a note of it. So for more information, I'll be giving you in the further slides. Topic number 2. For topic number 3, assembly language. Dash instruction copies data from one location to another location. So the answer will be move. So move instruction will be copying the data from one location to another location. Here, let me give an example. I'm taking an instruction called move and I'm copying the value of 55 into A. Most of the people will be having a question why there is H after the value and why there is hash in front of the value. Basically, whenever any value is ending with H symbol, it means that it denotes the hexadecimal value. Hexadecimal value. And if there is any number starting with hash symbol, like in the microcontroller terms, it is called pound sign, POUND. It means that it is an immediate data, like a numerical value. You can ask me what happens if I won't keep hash symbol on the top, on the starting of value. So when you're not keeping hash on the starting of the value, the microcontroller will be treating it as a memory location. So in order to differentiate a value from memory location and the numerical value, we'll be using the hash sign or the pound sign in front of the value. So hope you understood. Bit number 1. Values can be loaded directly into any of registers A, B, R0 to R7. Is it true or false? So the answer will be true. You can directly load the value into any of the registers directly. Bit number 10. Dash command tells assembler to place the opcode at memory location 0. So the answer will be org. So org is nothing but origin. Bit number 11. Name some directives. Org, end. So org will be representing the origin of the code and end will be representing the end of the code, like end of the program. Bit number 12. Dash convert assembly language into machine level language. So the answer will be assembler. Bit number 13. Dash converts high level language into machine level language. So the answer will be compiler. So most of the people will be thinking like both assembler and compiler are like tools. They are not tools. They are piece of code which will be converting either assembly or high level language into machine level language. Where assembler will be converting assembly into machine level language, whereas compiler will be converting high level language into machine level language. Bit number 14. 8051 is developed using which technology? So initial days 8051 is developed using NMOS technology, NMOS. But NMOS technology is having some disadvantages like high power consumption. So in order to reduce the power consumption, they are using technology called CMOS now. So initially they used to use NMOS, but recently from recent days they are using CMOS technology. So which will be pointing out the low power consumption. Next topic, program counter. Dash register points to the next address of the next instruction to be executed. So the answer will be program counter. So program counter will be a register, so which will be storing the address of next instruction which needs to be executed. Bit number 16. Size of program counter in 8051. So the answer will be 16 bits wide. Bit number 17. What is the value in the program counter when 8051 is powered up? The answer will be 0000. It means that when you restart the system or when you start the system, what will be the address which will be stored in the program counter? So the answer will be 0000. Nothing but the starting address. Bit number 18. Where is the first opcode stored in the memory location in 8051? So the answer will be 000H. Next topic, data types and directives. Bit number 19. DB is used to define dash data. So the answer will be 8-bit data. So DB stands for defined byte. So which will be storing the 8-bit data or defining the 8-bit data. Bit number 20. Dash directive is used for define ASCII strings. So the answer will be defined byte only. So which will be defining the ASCII strings. Bit number 21. Dash directive is used to indicate the beginning of the address. The answer will be org. So org is nothing but directive, which will be telling the assembler to place my code at the starting address, like beginning of the address. Nothing but org. Bit number 22. Dash directive is used to define a constant without occupying memory location. The answer will be EQU, nothing but equate. So here I am giving an example. High equate 40, move R3 high. So here whenever assembler comes across the instruction move R3 HI, it will be directly replacing the HI to the value 40 without occupying any memory location. So this is how the equate works. Bit number 23. Dash is the last line of the 8051 program. So the answer will be end. So end is a directive which will be denoting to the assembler like I have reached to the end of the program. Next topic, 8051 flag bits and PSW register. Bit number 24. The flag register of 8051 is called. Basically the flag register of 8051 is called program status word. Nothing but PSW register. Bit number 25. What is the size of PSW register? The answer will be 8-bit. Bit number 26. What are the flags of PSW register? The answer will be carry flag, auxiliary flag, parity flag, and overflow flag. Bit number 27. Dash flag is set when there is a carry out from D7 bit. So the answer will be carry flag. Bit number 28. Instruction used to set carry flag, clear carry flag. So set bit C is nothing but we are setting the carry flag. We are setting the bit of carry flag. When we want to clear the carry flag, we can use CLRC, nothing but clear carry flag. Dash flag is set when there is a carry from D3 to D4 during an add or sub operation. Basically, we will be having 1 byte. So in 1 byte we'll be having 8 bits. So out of 8 bits, 0th bit to 4th bit is called low nibble and 5th bit to 7th bit is called high nibble. So when there is any add or subtraction operation, so if there is any carry from D4 to D3, auxiliary flag will be setting out. Bit number 30. Dash flag informs about the number of ones in the accumulator register only. So it is also one of the most important bit. So depending upon the ones in the accumulator register, so which flag informs about it? So the answer will be parity flag. Bit number 31. Dash flag is set whenever the result of signed number operation is too large, causing overflow. So when there is any overflow occur, the overflow flag will be setting out. Next topic, 8051 register banks and stack. How many bytes are located for register banks and stack in 8051? So the answer will be 32 bytes. So 32 bytes are allocated for register banks and stack in 8051. So basically we will be having registers from R0 to R7. Bit number 33. How many bytes are allocated for bit reducible read-write memory in 8051? So basically there are 16 bytes, so which are allocated for bit addressable read-write memory. Bit number 34. How many bytes are allocated for read-write storage? So the answer will be 80 bytes. So make a note of all this information. They are important in the exam point of view. Bit number 35. What is the default register bank when 8051 is powered up? So the answer for this particular thing will be register bank 0. So when you are restarting or starting the microcontroller, the register bank which will be appeared is register bank 0, like default register bank. Bit number 36. Dash bits of dash register are used to select the desired register bank. So if you want to select any of the registers, like we are having different register like R0, R1, like register bank 0, register bank 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you want to make the transition from one bank to another bank, so there is a register called PSW register, like program status word. So in program status register, you'll be having 2 bits like bit 3 and bit 4. So which are used to select what register bank you want to get into. Bit number 37. The register used to access the stack is stack point register. Bit number 38. What is the size of stack pointer? So the size of stack pointer is 8-bit. Bit number 39. When 8051 is powered up, stack pointer register contains the value. So the answer will be 07. As we push data into the stack, stack pointer gets incremented by what value? So the answer will be 1. So the stack pointer gets incremented by 1. So when we push data onto the stack. Bit number 41. On power up, the 8051 uses AM location dash as first location of stack. So the answer will be 08. So initially default value will be 07, but if you want to store any value onto the stack, it will be storing from 08 value. Bit number 42. Does the stack of 8051 grows upwards or downwards? So the answer will be upwards. So it will be moving from lower address to higher address. Next topic, jump, loop and call instructions. Bit number 43. Loop action in 8051 is performed by dash instruction. So the answer will be DJNJ instruction. So DJNJ stands for decrement register and jump if not 0. So what this particular instruction will be doing is, so if you want to jump into any other register, it will first decrement the register and it will be jumping only if it is not 0. Like jumping into the next location if it is not 0 and decrementing the register value. Next, bit 44th one. In DJN instruction, the register is dash if it is not 0. It's decremented. Basically here, it's decremented. Bit number 45. In dash instruction, the content of accumulator is checked. It will be GJ instruction. It means that jump if A is equal to 0. Like this particular bit is very important. Why? Because this particular instruction, if it wants to jump into any target location, it will first check the status of accumulator. Only if accumulator is 0, then only it will start jumping. Bit number 46. In dash instruction, the carry flag bit in PSW register is used to make the decision whether to jump or not. So the answer will be JNC instruction, jump if no carry. This particular instruction, it will check the status of carry bit. So if carry bit is 0, then only if this particular bit will jump, or else it won't jump. Point number 47. All conditional jumps are dash. So all conditional jumps are short jumps. So this nothing but in the RAM location, there will be several locations. Like if you want to jump from one location to another location, in the short jumps, you can move only in the range of 120 minus 120 to 127. So beyond or less than this, you can't jump. So that's why the short jumps are conditional jumps only. Like all conditional jumps are short jumps. So they will be in the range between minus 128 to 127 bytes only. Bit number 48. Long jump and short jumps are dash instructions. Like unconditional jumps instructions. Size of long jump instruction. The size of long jump will be 3 byte instructions. Size of short jump instruction. So the size of short jump instruction will be 2 bytes. So hope you got some valuable information from this particular video. So if you are having any queries, you can just comment out me in the comment section so that I can able to answer your queries. So meet you in the part 2 video. Thank you. Hope this video has given you a valuable information. And if you feel my content is good, valuable and informative, you can like, share and subscribe. So meet you in the next video. Until then, bye bye.